My friends, the Bitcoin cryptocurrency thing is dead. It's kaput. It's gone. It's finished. Do you remember, like, how long ago is it? 6 months ago. December 2017. People were going apeshit crazy about that stuff. I mean, people were quitting their day jobs to get into cryptocurrency mining, taking every last cent they had to build a rig to make the stuff. You know, at the end of the TV and radio broadcasts, along with the stock market price and the gold price and the exchange rate, they were quoting the Bitcoin price in US dollars. It was at like $20,000 a coin. We were seeing tweets on social media like this one. Just an example, selected at random from, what is it there? Doom Eric saying, I put $14 into Bitcoin, now it's 22. LMAO, laughing my ass off. IDK, I don't know how you guys do that 9 to 5 shit. Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, anyway, the blessed Bitcoin price is now battling to hang on to $6,000 a coin. No one talks about it anymore. And this week, the Bank of International Settlements, which is an 88-year-old organization based in Switzerland, which is like the Association of Central Banks, said that the blockchain technology on which all these cryptos are based is totally unusable when it comes to international settlements at any kind of scale. The technology is no good. It uses up too much electricity. It's too prone to price manipulation and fraud. The whole thing is worthless. So I don't know what Doom Eric is doing. He's probably not laughing his ass off anymore. He's gone back to work somewhere, 9 to 5, just like all the rest of us. Well, speaking of ass and asses and laughing them off, there is a new Chinese food health craze which is putting the donkeys of Africa at risk. It's quite bizarre. There's a town in eastern China which is called Donghae. Sounds vaguely like donkey. This gets stranger and stranger. Which manufactures some kind of weird gelatine, which is called Yijiao. It's made in this town. And Yijiao, in fact, has supposedly got all these amazing health benefits. It's like one of those things you literally take for everything from, you know, overweight to heart disease to erectile dysfunction. Getting marketed aggressively in China. It is basically a gelatine which is manufactured by boiling up donkey skins. So the Chinese, of course, have obliterated their donkey population. They've now moved on to Africa. The core center of the donkey farming operations and gathering is, in fact, in Kenya, where the donkey population is down from 1.8 million to 1.2 million because of aggressive harvesting and slaughtering. There are 3 abattoirs in the central Kenyan region which are dedicated to slaughtering donkeys. They're donkey farmers that are setting up camps in order to actually manufacture these. So I don't know. I mean, on one level, I suppose it's commercial farming. That's what happens. But there's also a major donkey rustling and theft problem as a result of donkeys being snatched in the middle of the night, slaughtered and carried off. So for those who love their donkeys and want to maintain their donkeys for donkey cart riding and that sort of thing, or just for general agricultural purposes, perhaps the only solution is to try a trick from the rhino poaching trade, where they actually take the animals and daub them with a very evil tasting dye which prevents them from actually being used. So if those donkey skins were grabbed by the smuggler poachers and boiled up, the Chinese user would find, in fact, that that particular Yijiao tasted like ass. Here in South Africa, we get very hot under the collar about corruption, but it's worth remembering that there are countries where the corruption is much, much worse. You will have noticed that in Malaysia, the previous Prime Minister, whose name is Najib Razak, was tossed out of office by surprise. The old guy, Matatir, won the election. He's like 95 in the shade. But as a result of this shock surprise turn of events, Razak and his wife were hounded out of the State House, and they have discovered in the house itself treasures, luxury goods, which he says are just gifts, but the general view is that they were looted from the state, worth almost $300 million. So the inventory of goods includes 12,000 items of jewelry.
What?
567 handbags, 423 watches. In aggregate, all of this stuff worth nearly $300 million. In addition, almost $30 million of cash banknotes. stashed in the State House. But remember, this is not even the beginnings of it, because apparently Razak and his chums utilized global trade flows linked to 1MDB, which is like a development bank within the Malaysian political scene, to launder and steal almost $1 billion worth of money, a good deal of which ended up in Razak's personal bank account. His excuse when asked what was going on here was that, it was all just gifts from friends in Saudi. And in fact, in one instance, there was $100 million found in his account, and he said it was deposited there by a friend, a gift from someone in the Saudi royal family, and he can't remember which person was that made the deposit. Tremendous. Now remember, this kind of industrial scale corruption makes our local Nkandla type activities look like real small beer. Small beer. Right, one final terrific blunder from the world of charitable giving. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation had a program going to experiment in the US with teacher effectiveness. A campaign which ran from 2014 to 2017. In aggregate, with state support, they spent $575 million. $575 million, that's a sizable sum of money. And basically what they were looking at was school teacher effectiveness, monitoring systems, classroom behavior, and then trying to ascertain whether or not these initiatives, which looked at teachers and their conduct as well as their career prospects, would have any measurable impact on scholar performance. After 3 years, they've thrown in the towel. After spending that sum of money, they found that the educational outcomes were, if anything, negative. And this was carried out across 3 different states, one in Florida, one in Ohio, and one in like Tennessee or something. Negative. Scholar outcomes worse. I don't know what to draw about this, the conclusion, other than that maybe, teachers are just ungovernable. So the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation decided to move on and see whether there's any connection between early learning disabilities, childhood pre-kindergarten interventions, home support, and also diet issues and nutrition in early stage, in order to see whether that perhaps has any indication or indicative benefit if you change those things on long-term teacher outcomes, scholar outcomes, that is.